Okay, this is from Marley. This is session 6, March 4th, 2025. This video is mainly for Marley's owner. You'll notice he's got a nice loose leash. I'm letting him kind of pick his pace a little and stop and sniff wherever he wants. If you're watching this on one of my socials, this dog has some stimulation control. Alright, so he's pulling a little. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop and click once the leash loosens and let him sniff. So if you're watching this on my socials, what we're trying to do here is work on his stimulation control a little bit. Initially I thought he might have anxiety, but it turns out what he really just has is just very poor stimulation control. Alright, getting a little in the wind there. So I'm going to wait and give a nice click. Okay, and we're going to go around the block doing this. So this is teaching some loose leash walking with a older Beagle. Stopping because we got a little traffic build up here. Good boy, Marley, you want a treat for that? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely convinced he's deaf. But there might be some evidence pointing towards that. But he also seems pulling a little bit. I'm going to let him pull as we get across the street. But once we get back on the curb, there seems to be some evidence that he might be losing his hearing. At least I'm not sure he's completely deaf. He seems to respond to the clicker in other training sessions. So I don't know. All right, but this is showing you can do this. And we're at the 2-minute mark. Now this is his second walk. If you're watching me on one of my socials, this is the second walk where you're going around the same path again. Okay, hold on. Hold on, Marley. Got a car coming. Okay. All right, bud. Let's go. But pulling a little. Once we get a little slack. Okay. And I want him to stop and sniff, because when he stops and sniffs and engages with his environment, he's a lot calmer, and that's what I want. Leash walking scent hounds can be very difficult. They're not meant to be superb leash walkers. Good boy. This is a very packed residential area in Pensacola called East Hill. Alright, let's go. We are moving with the wind here. I don't want to go the opposite direction, really throw too many smells at him all at once. This is our first big walk in doing this. Now I'm going to let him sniff a little. Okay. And I'm clicking to let him know we can keep going. He does want to keep moving forward, but I really do want him to stop and sniff, which is really the goal here for any dog on most walks, is to engage with their environment. You're never going to walk at a pace fast enough to get your dog to really exercise, even if you're jogging, for most dogs. So, but we're seeming to be doing okay here. And if I drop my phone, it's because we suddenly bumped into a trigger. But hopefully, again, this was an application for leash walking, and to see how his counter conditioning is doing. I'm not going to let him roam too far, but if he stays at a tight leash, I'm going to wait. And again, I'm clicking. Yeah, I know, buddy. He's an older guy. Which is part of why we're also keeping this a little closer to home. Oh, you got a little sandbur? Okay, let's pause for just... Okay, sorry, we had to pause. We had a little sand spur. Joey's living in Florida. He is an older guy. I want to say he's around 10, I believe. But, look, I've got a nice loose dangly leash here. We're maintaining a good consistent speed, I'm going to stop and let him kind of sniff and do his thing. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. We're almost home. So I'm going to wrap this video up a little bit. If you're on my socials, thank you for watching. And if you're Marley's owner, well, hey, look, he can walk at a loose leash. So we're in the last little bit of our walk here. I'll say this, we don't typically walk our dogs enough, just because they are built for, moving and everything. It's hard to walk your dog enough, especially if you're working, 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday, that kind of thing. I'm just kind of taking our time, and he's doing really well. But you can tell we're close to home. I can see my Subaru down there. But yeah, slow down, let your dog sniff and enjoy, folks. Best way for him to enjoy his world. Again, the editing, the first 5 minutes you see, and then this little bit is probably about 10 minutes apart. We did not encounter any triggers today, which is fine. We're trying to get him confident in his new environment. Triggers come along later. But he did really well. I'm very proud of him. This is what you want to see out of your scent hound right here. Nose to the ground, walking a nice, steady pace with you.